The only 5 exercises men over 40 truly need to build real muscle. As the years go by, the male body starts changing in ways most people never see coming, and those who don't understand how to adjust their training end up hitting a wall, no matter how hard they push in the gym. The reality is simple. After a certain age, it's not about training more. It's about training smarter. You need movements that are stable, protect joints that aren't as bulletproof as they used to be, maximize muscle tension, and avoid unnecessary fatigue. That's why today you're going to see the only 5 exercises men over 40 actually need, all based on essential movement patterns. These aren't random lifts. They're the ones that let you train every major muscle group safely, effectively, and with purpose. Before we get into the exercises, it's important to understand what actually changes in the male body after 40. Change number 1, hormonal reduction. Testosterone starts dropping about 1 to 2% per year, and the effects show up quickly. Gaining and maintaining muscle becomes harder, fat builds up faster around the midsection, energy dips, and recovery slows. Even bone density decreases, meaning your body isn't as resilient as it once was. Change number 2, slower recovery. Training hard several days in a row becomes a challenge. Joints feel tighter, aches last longer, and pushing through like you did in your 30s only leads to plateaus or injuries. Tendons and ligaments lose elasticity, and sleep quality, a key part of recovery, often declines. Change number 3, metabolism and body composition. Your metabolism burns fewer calories at rest, and muscle loss speeds up if you're not training properly. Fat gain becomes easier, especially around the abdomen, and insulin sensitivity drops, making it harder for the body to use nutrients for muscle growth. With these 3 changes in mind, let's move into the exercises that actually help men over 40 stay strong, muscular, and injury-free. Exercise number 1, lat pull-down. The lat pull-down is one of the most valuable exercises for men over 40, and it plays a far bigger role than simply building a wide back. At this age, posture, joint health, and balance strength matter just as much as aesthetics, and this movement helps with all of them at once. As the years go by, most men develop a forward-rounded posture from sitting, driving, and working on computers. The upper back weakens, the shoulders cave inward, and then the chest tightens. Over time, this creates a chain reaction of problems: shoulder discomfort, neck tension, poor mobility, and even lower back pain. The lat pull-down directly counters these issues by strengthening the muscles responsible for keeping the upper body tall, open, and stable. What makes this exercise especially powerful for men over 40 is how joint-friendly it is. With free weight pulling movements, especially pull-ups and heavy barbell rows, even small technique mistakes can place a lot of stress on the shoulders and elbows. The lat pull-down removes that instability. Its guided path allows you to train with meaningful weight while drastically reducing the risk of irritation or injury. When your recovery isn't what it used to be, that controlled stimulus matters. The muscles it targets go far beyond just the lats. You'll feel strong activation in the rhomboids, lower traps, teres major, rear delts, and even the biceps and forearms. Training such a large portion of the upper body in a single movement provides a powerful strength and muscle-building boost, something that becomes especially valuable as natural hormone levels decline with age. To perform it correctly, sit with your knees locked in, chest lifted, and spine neutral. Take a grip slightly wider than shoulder width and start the pull by engaging your back, not your arms. Bring the bar down toward your upper chest while driving your elbows down and in. Pause briefly to feel the contraction through your entire back, then return with slow, controlled movement. That controlled stretch at the top is where most men lose potential gains. The mistakes to avoid are simple but crucial. Don't swing your torso to move the weight. That only steals tension from the back and increases injury risk. Don't let your shoulders shrug upward, as this shifts the workload onto the upper traps instead of the lats. And avoid pulling the bar behind your neck, which places unnecessary stress on the shoulders and cervical spine. Mastering the lat pull-down gives men over 40 one of the strongest foundations for upper body power, posture, and long-term joint health. Exercise number 2, incline dumbbell bench press. The incline dumbbell bench press is one of the most essential upper body exercises for men over 40, especially when it comes to building a strong, athletic-looking chest. As you age, the upper portion of the chest is usually the first area to lose firmness. That's what creates that soft, drooping look many men struggle with, even if they've trained for years. The incline press directly targets that problem area and brings back a fuller, more lifted chest shape. What makes this movement even more effective is the dumbbell variation. Barbells lock your shoulders into a fixed path, which isn't ideal when joint mobility naturally declines with age. Dumbbells, on the other hand, allow your arms and shoulders to move freely, making the exercise far safer and more comfortable while still delivering intense muscle activation. For men whose shoulders aren't as bulletproof as they were in their 20s, that freedom of movement is a major advantage. The incline press doesn't only train the upper chest, it also recruits the middle chest, the anterior deltoids, and the triceps, giving you a complete upper body pushing pattern. This creates a balanced look that instantly makes you appear stronger and more athletic. And because the angle is slightly elevated, it reduces pressure on the shoulder joint compared to flat benching. Another major benefit for men over 40. To perform it properly, set your bench to about a 30-degree angle. Anything much higher turns the movement into more of a shoulder press and takes tension away from the chest. Lower the dumbbells in a controlled arc toward the sides of your chest, keeping a natural 45-degree angle at the elbows. Feel the stretch at the bottom. This part is key for chest development. Then press upward while focusing on squeezing the chest, not just pushing the weight. The goal is tension, not momentum. The biggest mistakes to avoid include using too steep an incline, dropping the elbows too close to the body, or flaring them excessively outward. Also avoid rushing the movement or cutting the range of motion short, which reduces the effectiveness of the lift. At this age, quality of each rep matters far more than chasing heavy weights. A well-executed incline dumbbell press helps restore upper body strength, improves posture, and brings back that proud, lifted chest that many men lose over time. But developing a balanced physique means you can't ignore what happens below the waist. Exercise number 3, Bulgarian split squat. The Bulgarian split squat is one of the most powerful lower body exercises for men over 40, and for many it becomes even more valuable than traditional squats. As you age, your spine, hips, and knees don't handle heavy compressive load the same way they used to. That means exercises that build serious leg strength without punishing the joints become extremely important, and that's exactly where the Bulgarian split squat stands out. This movement lets you train your legs intensely using far less weight, which immediately reduces stress on the lower back. For men who feel stiffness, tight hips, or occasional discomfort during regular squats, this exercise often becomes a game changer. The split stance forces each leg to work independently, exposing imbalances you've probably developed over years of sports, training, or simply favoring one side without realizing it. After 40, these asymmetries tend to get worse and become a major source of knee or hip issues. The Bulgarian split squat helps correct them naturally. The muscles involved make it even more valuable. It powerfully trains the quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings, while challenging stabilizers like the adductors, abductors, and the core. For men dealing with a decline in hormone levels, exercises that stimulate large muscle groups like this one create a strong growth response and help maintain strength that normally fades with age. To perform it correctly, stand about 2 feet in front of a bench and place the top of 1 foot behind you. Keep your torso tall, brace your core, and lower yourself in a controlled motion until your front thigh is nearly parallel to the ground. Push through the heel of your front foot to return to the starting position. You'll know you're doing it right when your body stays stable, your front leg carries most of the load, and you feel a deep, focused tension in your quads and glutes, not your lower back. The common mistakes to avoid are simple but important. Don't let the front knee shoot excessively past your toes. Don't allow the knee to collapse inward, and avoid leaning your torso forward, which takes the load off the legs and places unnecessary stress on the spine. Another mistake many men make is not going low enough due to imbalance or fear of instability, but going too shallow dramatically reduces the benefits of the exercise. The Bulgarian split squat doesn't just build strength, it builds balance, stability, and functional mobility that men over 40 often lose without noticing. Exercise number 4, shoulder press. The shoulder press is one of the most essential exercises for men over 40. Not just for aesthetics, but for long-term function and joint health. As the years go by, shoulder mobility is one of the first things to decline. Decades of sitting, hunching forward, and working at a desk cause the shoulders to roll inward, creating stiffness, weakness, and that rounded posture many men struggle with. A strong, stable set of shoulders becomes a major advantage in fighting that downward trend. What makes the shoulder press so effective is its ability to train all 3 major heads of the deltoid, especially the front front and side, while reinforcing the muscles that stabilize the upper back. This doesn't just build wider, more powerful shoulders, it helps you stand taller, move better, and avoid the nagging pains that often start creeping in after 40. Strong shoulders also improve performance in almost every upper body movement, from chest presses to back exercises, making this one of the most high-return movements men can do. The shoulder press activates multiple muscle groups. The anterior deltoid takes the lead, the lateral deltoid adds width and shape, and the triceps assist at the top of the movement. Even the traps and upper back stabilizers jump in to keep everything aligned. For men dealing with hormonal decline, training several muscle groups at once provides a strong stimulus for strength and overall development. To perform it correctly, you can sit on a bench with back support or stand with a firm, upright posture. Hold dumbbells or a bar at shoulder height with your palms facing forward, brace your core, and press the weight upward without fully locking your elbows. That slight bend at the top is crucial. Fully locking out transfers the tension to the joints and triceps, taking the load off the delts. Lower the weight slowly and with control, making sure the shoulders stay down and away from the ears throughout the movement. The mistakes to avoid are the ones that create the most problems for men over 40. Don't hyperextend your lower back. This usually happens when the weight is too heavy or the core isn't braced. Don't perform the behind-the-neck variation, which places extreme stress on the shoulder joint and dramatically increases the risk of injury, especially when mobility has already declined. Also avoid rushing through the reps or using momentum to push the weight up. Controlled tension is what keeps the shoulders strong and healthy. Building powerful, stable shoulders gives your entire upper body a more youthful, athletic look. But to unlock true full-body strength after 40, you need an exercise that challenges almost every muscle at once. Exercise number 5, deadlift. The deadlift is arguably the single most important exercise for men over 40 who want to stay strong, athletic, and muscular. At this stage of life, you're not just training for size, you're training for longevity. And no movement builds real-world strength the way the deadlift does. It targets nearly every major muscle group in one controlled pattern, making it one of the most efficient exercises you can perform. One of the biggest advantages of the deadlift for men over 40 is its powerful hormonal response. When done correctly, this movement recruits so many muscles that the body responds by releasing higher levels of natural growth, supporting hormones. That's incredibly valuable when testosterone levels aren't what they used to be. A single deadlift session sends a strong signal to the body to grow, recover, and maintain muscle mass, something that becomes harder with age. But the deadlift isn't just about the hormonal benefit, it's about total body strength. The movement trains the spinal erectors, glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps, traps, lats, rhomboids, forearms, and even the core. Few exercises offer such complete development. For men who want to stay functional, lifting groceries, playing with kids, carrying heavy objects, or simply moving with confidence, this exercise is unmatched. When your posterior chain is strong, your entire body feels more stable and capable. To perform it correctly, place your feet about hip-width apart with the bar positioned over the middle of your feet. Bend at the knees and hips while keeping your spine neutral. Not rounded, not overarched. Grip the bar slightly wider than shoulder width, lift your chest and pull your shoulders back. Start the movement by pushing the ground away with your legs. As the bar rises, keep it close to your body and let your hips and knees extend together. At the top, stand tall and contract your glutes. Then reverse the motion by hinging at the hips first, followed by bending the knees. You'll know you're performing it properly when you feel the tension in your hamstrings and glutes. Your feet stay planted, and your back remains neutral from start to finish. If the weight shifts into your toes, if the bar drifts away from your body, or if your spine starts rounding, reduce the load and correct your form. At this age, proper technique is everything. The biggest mistakes to avoid include lifting with a rounded lower back, letting the bar swing away from your shins, using your arms instead of your legs and hips, or hyperextending at the top of the movement. Another common problem is starting the lift with the hips too high, turning it into a stiff-legged deadlift and overloading the lower back. When the goal is long-term strength, safety has to come first. A well-executed deadlift doesn't just build muscle, it reinforces your entire body and slows down the physical decline that naturally accelerates after 40. Bonus exercise, plank. The plank might look simple, but for men over 40, it's one of the most valuable exercises you can do. At this age, a strong core becomes more than just an aesthetic goal. It's what keeps your spine stable, your lower back protected, and your entire body moving efficiently. As the years go by, back discomfort becomes more common, and the plank helps fight that by strengthening the deep core muscles that act like natural armor for your body. What makes the plank especially effective is that it trains multiple muscles at the same time: the abs, obliques, lower back, glutes, and even the shoulders. It improves posture, enhances stability, and reduces the risk of injury during heavier exercises like deadlifts and squats. For men who naturally accumulate more fat around the midsection after 40, the plank becomes an important tool for building definition once the body fat starts coming down. To perform it correctly, support yourself on your forearms and toes while keeping your body in a straight line from head to heels. Brace your core as if preparing for a punch, squeeze your glutes, and avoid letting your hips drop or rise too high. If you feel tension in your lower back, reset your position. Proper form is everything. This simple movement strengthens the foundation of your entire body, helping you move better, lift safer, and stay athletic as you age. These are the only exercises men over 40 truly need to stay strong, build muscle, and protect their joints for the long run. You don't need endless variations or complicated routines, just the right movements done with proper form and consistency. And if you want to make sure you're not sabotaging your progress with hidden mistakes most guys your age still make, I've got another video that breaks down the habits that quietly destroy your results. It's appearing on screen now. Watch that next so you can avoid the traps that hold most men back. Thanks for watching, and stay consistent.